What is good, YouTube? This is your boy, Aaron.
It's Brian.
And this is the Courtside View Podcast, and we are back today, and we are starting it off with the NBA, episode 3 of How to Save the NBA. Now, the first episodes, I was talking about divisions. Check out the video, by the way. The second episode, I was talking about the three-point line. So this episode, this is not new. This has been discussed for years now, but after watching college basketball for the first time in how so many years, I've actually watched a number of games in the regular season, not March Madness, but in the regular season. And I have enjoyed a lot of the games. I've enjoyed just some of the talent that I've been seeing that's going to be eligible to come into the draft this year. Let me ask you this. So, First of all, you don't really watch college basketball. No. So I'll give you some names from college football. So, Will Johnson. Do you know where Will Johnson plays?
College football or basketball?
College football.
College basketball. Will Johnson. Ain't he Michigan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Michigan corner.
Travis Hunter.
Colorado, obviously.
Shedeur Sanders.
Colorado.
Cam Ward.
Miami.
Adrian Carter.
Adrian Carter?
Yeah.
You mean Abdul Carter?
Abdul Carter.
Penn State.
Exactly. So you know where these players play. You know about these players. These are players that have been playing in college for a number of years. So we've had the opportunity to see them play, get to know them, get to understand their game, evaluate their game. So I turn around and I go to college basketball. Do you know who Ace Bailey is?
Yes.
Do you know who Dylan Harper is?
Now I do.
Now I do because I told him.
Yeah.
Do you know where they play?
I know Dylan Harper plays. He plays at Rutgers, right?
Do you know where Ace Bailey plays?
He plays. Does the school start with an I?
No. Plays for Rutgers too.
They both play for Rutgers?
Yeah, they both play for Rutgers. See, and there's some. My point is that you who doesn't watch college basketball, you're I would say a casual fan of college basketball. Yeah. But with college football, I'm not gonna say I would say you're a casual fan, but you watch it more than you would for college basketball.
Because I feel like they do much better job promoting matchups. Like usually when in college basketball, when North Carolina plays who they play, that's always like a big deal.
Duke.
Yeah, Duke. That's like a huge matchup, but nowadays it's just like,
Yeah, it's just another game because of, again, the players. You don't know any of the players. They leave every single year after 1 year. That brings up my point about the fact that marketing college basketball, even though, in my opinion, I think they're having a really good year from just the quality on the play, on the court, it's still not many people who are casual fans really know about it. You can be a diehard NBA fan, but a casual in college basketball and not know who the hell is playing on the court. But you're a casual fan of college football and you're a diehard NFL fan, but you know a number of players in college football. So this is where I'm getting at. I feel like what the NBA should do, and this has been discussed in the past, is go back, change the eligibility for college basketball players and just overseas players in general and make it 2 years instead of 1 year. Because what you do is that one of the problems with the NBA nowadays is the marketing. Is a lot of people don't really know the players coming in to the draft, coming into the NBA, they're unknown. I feel like if you change the eligibility to 2 years, it will give people more time to get to know these college basketball players. And you will be more invested into the game because just for draft purposes, in case your team is, in the lottery, potentially in the lottery, and you're looking to see okay, potentially what player could we draft? And it could be a player that is playing on your television screen right now on ESPN or on Fox or whatever, or CBS. I believe they should change the eligibility to 2 years. That will help the marketing of the NBA, also college basketball as well. The NBA in past years, they tried to get away from college basketball. They, the little G League team that they created for high school, for kids who are coming out of high school. They want to take the G League route and then go to NBA. Yeah, it failed. The G League Ignite team that Scoot Henderson and Jalen Green were in didn't really do too well. So I believe this is another way that they can improve the game, improve the marketing of the game, because at the end of the day, if you're trying to hand a baton to a young dude after LeBron and Steph, KD leaves, you need a player that people know and that people have been following along for many, many years. And I feel like that's not been the case the past 5 to 7 years. What would you say? How do you feel about that?
That is interesting. I do think college players need, especially in the NBA's case, I think they need an extra year to let them develop and stuff. Would probably be beneficial for their success in the league, because as of recently, a lot of dudes come in, they play that 1 year in college. You know, you always have the guys like Paolo who just come in and they're just immediately like really good. And like Chet, Jared McCain from this previous class before he got hurt. You always have those type, but like majority of the time, dudes just don't be ready. And then they get to the league and it's like, oh, this ain't the dude we seen in college. And it's just like a big adjustment period. I feel like if you give them more time for their bodies to develop and as well as their game to develop and working in a system longer, because these dudes, they come from being the man in high school to being one of the men in college, and now they going against everybody that was the man. So they just look a little man in comparison. So I really think these dudes need another year to cook. But I also want to say, I'm not sure that the extra year in college would necessarily change anything, and I'm going to tell you why. Because recently, there were dudes that were touted as generational prospects who were supposed to come into the league and have just fell short. Zion Williamson and Scoot Henderson. These dudes were touted as this, blah, blah, blah. They came into the league and
they flopped.
Yeah, exactly. So I really think the fact that the players that the media decides to push as this, they're going to be the next blah, 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 and they just come up and fall short, I think that is more of a detriment to the
game.
Yeah.
No doubt. You're right about that. But I just think that it will help to some degree. Mm-hmm. And I believe even if a Cooper Flagg or a Dylan Harper, who I believe they can come out right now and they'll be fine, I think it's still good for them to have another year, not necessarily as like development, but to get your name across.
Okay.
For people to recognize who you are and to be the face of college basketball, because a lot of times you see these one and done dudes like a Zion Williamson. Yeah, they're the face of college basketball. Yeah, they're big, but imagine if they stayed one more year, we would see an extra year of them, and more people will identify who they are. More people will promote them on the college circuit. And NIL. Now guys are getting paid. Like, these young dudes are getting paid, so now you don't have to worry about, well, you know, they're being exploited, so we got to get them in the NBA. We got to get them as a pro early so they don't get exploited by these college teams. Well, now they're getting millions of dollars playing college basketball. Like, they're pretty much professionals now.
Yeah,
I believe
that kid that signed BYU, getting paid like $8 million.
Yeah, and then like guys are getting contract extensions. That, remember college football? That one guy at South Carolina. Mm-hmm. They're hiring GMs. This is becoming a professional basketball league now. And football as well. It's becoming a professional football league now. So I believe they can do it now because of the NIL. You don't have to worry about, oh, you know, these college teams are exploiting them. NCAA is exploiting them. Well, now they're getting paid for the services. So I believe they should do it. I believe it will help the game grow. It will help promote the game, college and NBA, because right now with the problem with the NBA is like a lot of young dudes, we just don't know. Like, you're not going to know Keontae George, I believe that's his name, from Utah. Like, you're not going to know that dude's name because I think he may have been a one and done, and he wasn't highly promoted. Like, he wasn't marketed all that well, but he's a solid player. These are just some examples that I just wanted to show when it comes to just college basketball, when it comes to the NBA, and how they can improve, how to save the NBA.
That's actually a good point, you know, because like especially like the previous draft class, people was like, who are these dudes? So like, you know what I'm saying? That one and done really it's a pro for the players, but it's a con for like the people who want to continue to keep up with the league, because it's like, well, who are these dudes? Like, what's their story? Like, you may see some guys that get a big name off of like March Madness and stuff, but other than that, like all these other dudes, like I probably knew 5 to 6 dudes in that entire draft class last year. Compared to the NFL, I knew dudes up until the 3rd, 4th round of the draft.
Right, exactly. I remember, the cornerback on the Chargers, Tarheeb Still, who came out of Maryland. Like, I remember I followed his journey since 2021. I was like, yo, this dude can play. Now,
What's his name?
Tarheeb Still.
Okay.
He was the cornerback on the Chargers, and he's having a breakout year. Came out of nowhere. I think they got him in like the 5th round. I knew he was going to be good. Just the way that he was playing with Maryland, I was like, yo, this dude is the best player on our defense, but nobody's really talking about him. So guys like that I know, obviously he's from my alma mater, but still, like, guys that are like late in the round, you still know. That guy, I remember the wide receiver from LSU, he got drafted by the Patriots. He was a bit of a nutcase.
Keyshawn Boutte.
Yeah, a bit of a nutcase. But still, like, you know who he is. These are just some examples of what I'm talking about. With the NBA, it would do wonders for them if they just changed the eligibility to 2 years. And it's free. Like, it's free marketing. Like, college basketball, you don't have to spend any money, really. Like, you just have the NCAA do it, and they will. And boom, free marketing. It doesn't cost you any money at all. And then the NBA draft, people are going to tune in more because now they know the players. Now they're more interested in it. So I just think they should follow suit on my idea. Follow suit on all my ideas. Really. Like, I just don't know why they wouldn't want to do it. All right. That'll do it for the 3rd episode of How to Save the NBA. Just make sure to go check out the other episodes. I do some analysis as well. Those are some really good videos, and we'll see you guys in the next episode of How to Save the NBA.
Just let me be